Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Man Bites Film. This week we're going to be reviewing two great shows that I recently saw on Netflix. The first one that I want to go straight into is called Shot in the Dark. This is a 2017 documentary style series that is basically, it follows these night crawlers. If you haven't seen that movie, then basically these guys do the B-roll or secondary footage for news stations. So if there's a crash and there's a nasty accident, cars on fire, all this stuff is going down, all the paramedics are called, the cops are called, all these things are going on, they go and they hunt down these incidents. As soon as they hear it on their radio, they haul ass and they rocket to that scene and they film it. Just film it. They don't talk about it. They don't do anything else. They grab the footage and then they go and they try to sell it to the news stations. So this show revolves around these three different companies in the LA area that are night crawlers, I guess you could call them. They basically just do this throughout, and it's basically a competition because obviously these three companies are all running against each other, trying to outdo each other, trying to max out, trying to beat each other in every way possible. And doing such, it makes this show very interesting, very intense, very dramatic, and the characters in this are solid. I don't know if this is for real or not, but honestly, it's believable and it's entertaining as heck. I love the way that the characters are portrayed and how they're portrayed and given the full character study that a normal film does in this TV show, that it's basically a wannabe reality show on Netflix. But I find it a lot more entertaining, and I give this probably a 7.5 out of 10. So this is directed by Jeff Daniels, and he's done a couple random things here and there. He's very good at compiling these together and making it very convincing story. At least if it's not real, then obviously it's different. But if it's real and this is legit, then this guy does a great job of compiling all this footage and putting it into a nice storyline that threads out. Next one that I want to go into is The Toys That Made Us. This is a mini-series documentary from Netflix, and this is pretty cool. It goes into the main toys of the 90s and 80s that made us, our generation. The what do you call it? The generation, the in-betweens. And I don't know how to label us, I guess you could say, but we're the people, the children that were born in the 80s to 88, 89, 90s era. We were all born in that time span, and there's a lot that we grew up with. And this show revolves around the toys that we grew up with, that were made into TV shows, that were made into movies, that were made into basically the cornerstone of our childhood. So this revolves around G.I. Joe, He-Man, Barbie, and Star Wars. All these toys, and it goes pretty deep into each one of these, how it got made, how it got started, where the follow up to each of these toy lines revolved into. And it was pretty interesting to see this story because I knew somewhat the story of G.I. Joe, I knew somewhat the story of Star Wars, but not really Barbie or He-Man. And it has a lot. I mean, there's a lot in that. It's very interesting, and it's directed by Tom Stern, and this came out last year as well, 2017 documentary series. It's 4 parts. Each one is about an hour long, and it is very entertaining. It feels like a good documentary when you watch this and you're like, wow, that's so cool, and you want to go on your phone and research and figure out more things about it. So these miniseries does that. Both of these actually, because the night crawling thing made me really interesting. Shot in the Dark was really well done because of that. It makes you watch this show and then you want to learn more about this subject and learn more about what these guys do and how they do it and where they go and how this whole thing works. I mean, it's super interesting to see that and see how they compile it together and bring it together all in one little weird package. So I thought it was great. I thought it was very entertaining. Both of these documentary shows are very good. So the first one that I mentioned is Shot in the Dark. This is a 2017. I give a 7.5 out of 10, and Toys That Made Us I give an 8.5 out of 10 because it was fantastic. And that's another 2017 Netflix originals, both of these. So I hope you guys are able to check these out. And my name is Lewis. This is Man Bites Film. We'll see you guys next week for another episode with Dank and everybody else. And please stay tuned. We are actually going to be doing the podcast as well. So I want you guys to check that out. It should be up on iTunes by the time this episode drops. So we'll see you guys then. And hopefully you guys be able to hear us on our podcast version.